Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me. It's Georgia here, and today I am doing one of the Bible journaling pages for my April 2021 Faith Art Retreat, Refuge in the Lord. Now we are actually going to be doing more than one Bible page this month for many reasons. There's always a story. Yes, I am getting back into Bible journaling after taking a break from my actual journaling Bible while I did the Creative Let project, which was such a huge thing that once I came out of it after Easter, I went through this great big slump where I just stared at the closed book and couldn't get back into Bible journaling. There was like this, no, it wasn't even you know what, I won't even go into why. There's a whole story behind that, and I'm not about to share it out there on YouTube. But here we go. This is probably my way of getting back into it, because I am doing this tutorial today, Sit Down Lydia, in the Real Journaling Bible. And I know experience tells me this is a bad idea. The pages never really turn out as well as I like them to when I'm filming, because I'm not doing them for the right reasons. But this is a page that I've sort of done before, so I'm taking a technique from a previous page and replicating it here in my real Bible, hoping that this will give me the push I need to get back into proper Bible journaling. So I am actually going to journal Psalm 143 in the Real Journaling Bible. And for those of you who do not like to cover the words, this will be absolutely perfect for you. You will love it, because we are not going to cover the words. Now, this is quite a simple page. I am only going to use 3 colors. I'm going to use a light pink. This is called Sweet Pink by Deco Art, Crafters Acrylic. I'm going to use Dina Wakely's Fuchsia, which is a little bit dark for me for what I'm doing, so I'm actually going to lighten it up by mixing it with some of the light pink. And I'm going to, I know this seems strange, but for a bit of highlight, I'm going to add a bit of orange, and my orange is coming from Tim Holtz Distress Paint in Carved Pumpkin. Now, what I'm going to do to start off with is just get some of this paint onto my makeshift palette, which is a pie dish today. And here we go. So I'm just going to, actually I should have got more of the light pink, because I'm going to lighten up the fuchsia. So I'll just work on that first. Okay, and I'm also going to need a little bit of gel medium. Now, I use this because when you mix your paint with some gel medium, what it does is it makes the paint translucent. So what I'm going to do is, and just very, very roughly and very simply, oops, I need, see, I'm so out of practice. I'm just going to pop a piece of paper under the page. Okay, and I'm just going to, just starting with my lighter color, I am just going to paint random splashes of pink up and down the margin. Now I'm going to, yikes, you might be saying, you said you wouldn't cover the words. But this is the next psalm, which I am not journaling on this page, so I'm just painting over it here. Now, as you can see, I'm leaving lots of bits and pieces in white, because what I will then do, and I'm actually cleaning my brush today for a change. I know I don't normally clean my brushes. I just blend one color straight into the other. I'm then getting the darker pink. Could actually go a little bit darker than that, couldn't we? So here we go, as usual, making things up on the fly. Darken that up a little bit. Okay, that's better. So I'm just doing some random strokes. Then with my smaller brush, I'm using a flat brush for this. You can use a rounded brush, but I like the flat brush because it gives that nice, it gives that flat stroke, you know, paint stroke kind of look to what you're doing. And if you like, you can come back in with a bit more of the light. Blend them a little bit together. Now, if I mix a bit of my paint in with the gel medium, and you don't need very much paint for this. The more paint you put, the more opaque it will become. And then I can just paint over the words, bits and pieces here. And as you can see, it has stayed quite translucent, so I can see the words through it. Do the same with darker paint. And this way I can add a bit of colour over the words without covering them up. And now I'm grabbing my orange, pour out just a little bit. Whoops. Okay, and now I'm just going to, oh, that's the, I was wondering why it was so perfectly circular, because the ball that mixes the paint came out. Okay, and I'm just going to add a few little highlights just here and there with my orange, just to brighten that up a little bit. So like I said, this is quite a simple page. And sometimes simple is a really great way of getting back into your Bible journaling when you've had a break and you're kind of reluctant or nervous or uninspired, as was my case, or something, and you just can't get yourself back into it. Sometimes just don't think too much, do something simple, and before you know it, yeah, well, that's the plan anyway. We'll see how we go with that. Okay, now I know I said only 3 colours, but I'm actually going to bring in a little bit of gold. Now my gold here is almost empty, and when these little bottles are almost empty, it's almost impossible to get the paint out. So what I've actually done is I've cut it open and then stuck it back together with washi tape, because there's still a lot of paint in there and it would not come out. So what I'm going to do is just grab some of that paint and spread it over my glass mat. Close my paint up again. This little system works very well for me. And then what I'm going to do is I have a bit of bubble wrap, and I'm just going to splodge my bubble wrap down onto the paint, dab off the excess, and I'm just going to do a little bit of bubble wrap painting, just here and there. Uh-oh, here we go. I accidentally went over the words, and I did promise I would not cover the words in this one, so there you go, true to my promise. Here we are. And I don't like heat drying bubble wrap painting, because being so thick with the paint, heat drying it tends to make it bubble up a little bit, so I'm just going to let that dry naturally. Now my bubble wrap printing has dried, so what I'm going to do is add some of my focus verse into the margin. Now what I would normally do is just add a line or a few words from my verse down in the margin, either across this way or as one word running down sideways down the side. But because I have painted over the bottom part that went into the next psalm, I think what I might do today is actually take 2 lines, write one here and then one across the bottom. Now I am going to use a combination of stamps, and I am using this stamp set from Concord and 9th called Sophisticated Script, because I quite like it. There it is in the right in the right dimension. I'm using a combination of that stamp and my Doodlebug Design Teensy Type Alpha stickers. Now this is a really, really long sheet that comes like this. I've cut it in half so that it can fit into my little folder that I keep all my stickers in. It comes with these little teeny ones and teeny ones here, but I'm actually going to be using these ones, so I'm going to use a combination of both. And what I really want to do is use my Tim Holtz stamp platform today, because I'm not the best stamper when it comes to, especially when it comes to alphabet stamps. I've had a few problems in the past where I haven't inked enough, and once you've lifted the stamp and you haven't inked it properly, well, you can't go back and put it down again unless you're using a stamp platform. Now, using a Tim Holtz stamp platform with your Bible, okay, might seem like a disaster at first, but it can be done, especially since the platform only has edges along two sides. So you've actually got this flat open area across the bottom and the right hand side if you're holding it that way. So so you can actually slip things in that are bigger than the actual platform or that are on the side, so to speak. Okay, but the problem is going to be that my Bible is actually quite high off the ground, and if I just place the platform like this, it's not going to sit well. So I've just grabbed a bunch of books and sort of mucked around with different books that I had on hand to get the same height across here so that I have a nice flat surface to work on. Now what I'm going to do is line up my platform and use the magnets provided to hold my page down. Okay, so now I'm ready to go and start stamping. Hopefully this will work well. So the first line that I've decided to use is, "To thee I lift up my soul." So I'm going to do the "to thee" in stamps. So excuse all the noise on the side. So I'm just just experimenting right now to see what will fit well. If we move this a bit, thinking to thee, or maybe if I say to thee like that, then I lift. Yes, okay, so this is how we're going to go. So I'll do the "to" first, because I only have one T and I need it for both. So that will be my "to thee." Okay, so here we go. So that lifts up the stamp, and I'm sorry, but this is now off camera because I can't fit everything into my little space here. So I'm just using my Ranger archival ink in jet black, and I'm just inking up those stamps on the side there. I'm bringing them in, give them a bit of CPR. And wonderful, look at that. So I don't even need to go back, just as well. All right, so now I'm thinking "to thee" might go like this. And because of the outline around the edge of these stamps, I can't get the letters as close to each other as I want, as you can see from the T and the O. So I'm actually going to just do these one by one. I know it's a little bit tedious, but it will give me a better result. So I pick up my stamp there, ink it off screen. You got the sound effects so you know I'm doing it. And that's the T, wonderful. Okay, I grab that off, put down the H. So that's "to thee." Now I'm going to have "I lift," but I want the I to be a sticker. So I'm going to leave the I for now and just plan my lift. So now I'm going to get the I from my stickers. I lift, what did I say? I lift up my soul. Gosh. Oh, she's not paying attention. So I'm not sticking these down very well because I may move them still. I'm just roughly putting them down to see how they look. And when I'm happy with it, where they are, then I put the pressure down so that they stick. So I lift up my soul in stamping. I'm going to put the stamp down where I think I want it. Come and pick it up again with the platform. There we go. Now be very careful with your inking, because you might see here I have this black line where along the perimeter of the plastic that holds your stamps, on the inside there's a bit of a ledge, and I managed to get some ink onto mine when I was not paying attention and just hitting my ink pad all over the place trying to ink up my letter, and I didn't realize that I had a bit of ink on that ledge. So when I pressed it down, I got this black line. It's not worrying me too much, but just be aware of that if you are using a stamp platform, to be careful where you're putting your ink. I did play around with trying to get the platform to sit in a good spot so that I could access this area, but because this is so close to the inside edge of the page or the spine, I just could not get my platform to sit in a place that would work very well without the pages moving and disaster ensuing. So I'm going to be brave and just block stamp it. The line I want to write across here is I have fled to thee for refuge. Okay, so I have the I in sticker, and now I'm going to write have in stamps. Okay, now that's not so great, but I'll fix that in a second. Once we're finished stamping, I will show you my little trick for fixing mucked up stamps. So I'm going to skip the to and write the. When I'm doing this sort of thing where I have small and large words, I tend to work on the large words first and then add the smaller words later in the spaces that I leave for them. It's kind of easier to see where things are going that way. I have fled to thee. For will be a sticker, I think, at this point. And I'm going to put refuge like this, kind of accenting the theme of our retreat. Again, not a great stamping effort there, but we'll fix that in a tick. Right, now I'm sort of looking at the fled here, and not loving the fact that I've got the F so high up, so it looks, yeah, it just doesn't look quite right. But nothing to be done for it now, because what's done is done. So I did a little bit of creative stickering and got that to written with the stickers that I wanted originally. I did not have a T, so I just did a bit of, yes, creative stickering. Now, if you have any of your letters that have not worked out 100%, as a few of mine here have done, I'm really not speaking English today, am I? I don't know what language I'm speaking, but it's kind of a hybrid sort of thing. Okay, so if you have any of your letters that have not stamped 100% perfectly, you can fix those up quite easily just with the use of a black marker. So I'm just going over a few of them, especially the ones that I've stamped over the bubble wrap printing, because it was not a very flat surface. It sort of mucked up a little bit. And the ones that I have no excuse for, really, just did not stamp properly at all, I'm just going over with my black gel pen, especially this one. This one's really bad. So that is almost done, right? Now what I want to do, and I'm going to use, see if my micron will play without completely getting wrecked. I just want to go and highlight some of my focus verse. So first of all, I'm going to do my little scribble highlighting around the two lines that I have actually written up here, or that I've actually written in the margins. So for to you, I lift up my soul. This is a different translation, so the these have been taken out. It's been written as modern English for to you, I lift up my soul. I like the to thee. I like the old English. And I have fled to thee for refuge, or in this particular journaling Bible, I have fled to you for refuge. And then I'm just going to go around a few others. For you are my God. And, oh, here we go. My soul thirsts for you like a parched land. I stretch out my hands to you. I need to stop at some. I need to stop now because I'll just go through the whole psalm and I'll be like, oh yes, this line, oh yes, that line, and I'll end up just highlighting the whole thing. So, maybe I'll just I'll stop now. I'll stop now, she says as she highlights for I am your servant. Okay, so we're going to stop now. This is for you, Jennifer, giving my micron a scribble on plain paper to get rid of any horrible acrylic paint residue that it might have built up on the nib, because this is my last surviving micron. Okay, now, final thing is, I think you all know me well, I'm going to go and just do my little scribble border around the outside of the page, because it gives it a bit of a frame almost. It holds everything together. Oh, I just went over that with my hand. I hope I have not smudged it all over the page. And I've done a bit of smudging there. I have to be careful with these gel markers over acrylic paint. They stay wet for quite a while. One final thing. Now, I just wanted to add a very simple little sticker element, and I've pulled out my Simple Stories Faith sticker tablet. Unfortunately, these are discontinued because it's quite an old collection, and I have used so many of them, and I really would love to find someone who still has them in stock that I could buy another, because these stickers have just been so great. And what I actually want, I know I don't have any more of them left. This is too small. Oh, here we go. This is where they all were, and I've used them all. These really lovely thin long arrows, and I just wanted one to put on the side here. A lot of what I've done, it seems kind of straightforward, but there is a lot of secret journaling. I use that word very lightly because it's not actual journaling, but you know me, my secret journaling is not just in the journaling, it's in other things that you can't see, or little things that I might put on the page that might seem random or might seem like just part of the decorations, but there's always a story behind them. And yeah, so that's my kind of secret journaling. So I think I might use I might use this one. There's this little arrow that says remember. What I'm going to do first of all, because it's just a little bit too white on that background, I'm just going to ink around the very edge with some pink distress ink. This is worn lipstick. Just so it doesn't stand out so starkly. Okay, now I'm just going to pop it here. Try not to hide the words above and below. Okay, and now I am done. I just need to get a date written on here somewhere, which I will do. I will do that off camera when I'm finished filming this video, for no other reason than I don't know what the date is today. So I will have to go and double check that before I write it in my book. Okay, but otherwise I am done, and here we go. George is back in her Bible. Oh, thank God. All right. Yeah. There's been a whole thing this whole past week. Wow. So really thankful to be leading this retreat, because it has actually forced me to get back into the journaling, which is, yeah, it was so much needed. My goodness. So thank you so much for joining me. This has been the Bible journaling page number 1 for our April 2021 virtual faith art retreat, Refuge in the Lord. And this is painting around Psalm 143, but you could do this to absolutely any focus verse that you have for this retreat or not for the retreat. Nice and simple. Paint a background, stamp, sticker, write, whatever you prefer, your focus verse, do a bit of word and line highlighting, and you're done. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me. If you are in my Facebook group, God's Refrigerator, or if you follow me on any of my social platforms, which are down below in the description, then you know about our retreats. And if you have come along to join us this month, fantastic. Please be sure to join the retreat group. It is a separate group on Facebook, and it is called April 2021 Virtual Retreat dash Refuge in the Lord. I'm pretty sure I'll have the name of it down below in the description. And please post your page in the relevant album. If you are not retreating with us and you would like to show me your page, please, 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 I would love to see it on any post on any of my social places down below. And if you're not in my group, God's Refrigerator, why not? This is becoming my line. Please feel free, if you are interested in joining us, come on over, knock on the door, answer the secret question. Once again, cannot stress that enough. I have stickers all over me. If you don't answer the question, I'm really sorry, but we will not let you in. And yeah, please come over and join us. Thank you again very much for watching this video. Thank you for your support, which I'm sure you will show below with the thumbs up and the subscribing and the commenting. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.